Looking at the final question on stoichiometry we have here, the question reads, what mass of CO2 is produced when 24 grams of carbon is burnt completely in oxygen? Okay, they give us what? Molar mass of each of the elements. All right, so how do we solve? Since they ask us the mass, we are looking for mass, we apply the formula here. Mass is equal to mole times molar mass. Mass is equal to mole times molar mass. Very easy, simple. Remember, in stoichiometry, the first thing to do is to balance the equation. Okay, they said produce when what mass of CO2 is produced when carbon is burnt completely in oxygen. That's, we are reacting carbon plus oxygen. That's C plus O2. We give us what? CO2. So if we look at this equation, is it balanced? We have two molecules of oxygen here. Here we have two. We have one here. We have one here. It's easy. So we have 1:1 stoichiometry ratio. 1:1. So since we are looking for the mass of CO2 that is given off, mass of CO2, if you look at the formula of mass, which is M is equal to mole times molar mass. In the question, do we have mole? Did they give us mole? No, they did not give us mole. But did they give us mass? Yes, 24 grams. This one is the mass. So we will have to go and find this mole so that we can apply this formula. So applying this same formula, all you have to do is to make mole the subject of the formula. Okay, that's mole will be equal to what? Will be equal to, if you make mole the subject of the formula, you are now going to be left with mole equal to mass over molar mass. Very easy. So when we do our mass over molar mass, we are now going to get what is the molar mass of carbon. Remember, it's carbon we are solving for. So the molar mass of carbon is 12. Okay, so what is the mass? Equal to 24 gram over 12. 24 divided by 12 will give us what? That will give us small 2 moles. Okay, so it's 2 moles. So we've gotten the mole. We will now have to apply this formula. So mole of CO2 is equal to this one, 2 moles. All right. So using the stoichiometry ratio, 1:1, no being we get just now. Now 1:1 we get just now. This is now the right time to find the what? The molar mass of the entire CO2. So molar mass of CO2 is equal to what? What do we have here first? We have C, and that is 12. Plus, what is the molar mass of oxygen? We have 16 times 2. Okay, times this 2. And this will give us what? This will give us 32. Okay, 32 plus 12 will be equal to, 32 plus 12 will give us, that should give us 44 gram per mole. Okay, so this is the molar mass of CO2. Then we have to do our final calculation, which is what? What is the mass of CO2? Mass is equal to what? Mole times molar mass. Okay, we already have the molar mass. Okay, this one is the molar mass of CO2. So what is the mole of CO2? The mole is 2. Look at it here. So we are now going to be left with mass of CO2 is equal to mole. And the mole is what? Times molar mass. Okay, mole times molar mass. So mass of CO2 will be equal to mole, which is 2, times molar mass, which is 44. If you simplify this or you add this up, you are now going to have 88 gram. So this is what, therefore, mass of CO2 is equal to 88 gram. All right. So among the options, we have 88 gram. Pick the correct option and drop it in the comment section. Let's move on to the next. Jamb candidates, you are welcome to today's lesson, and today we are looking at how to use the Avogadro'S law to calculate. Jamb, they set questions from there well. All right. You need any help? You need any material? The most repeated question by Jamb in Jamb utme. Send me a message on WhatsApp. This is my WhatsApp number. If you need me to coach you for the exam, send me a message on WhatsApp. Okay, let's talk there. All right. So this is Avogadro'S law calculation. Jamb must repeat question. The question reads: if 20 cubic centimeter of hydrogen gas contains 8.0 times 10 to the power 23 molecules, calculate the number of molecules in 30 cubic centimeter of the gas under the same temperature and pressure. If that's some people now, they'll go manipulate. They'll say, since this one contains this one, they'll go do half of this one plus and join this one to get the answer. They'll carry half of this one plus and join this one to get the answer. That kind of manipulation. And if you do them now, you can't get the correct answer. You can't get wrong answer. But let's follow the procedure and see what we are going to solve. This is what Avogadro'S law. And let me ask you a question. When do you know that it's Avogadro'S law that you are supposed to use? Use Avogadro'S law. Use Avogadro'S law when the question is comparing volume, okay, to molecule. So if the question they talk about volume and molecule, use Avogadro'S law. At that time you can't use Avogadro'S law when you compare volume and molecule. And Avogadro'S constant is 6.022 times 10 raised to power 23. This one is Avogadro'S constant, and its equivalent is equal to 1 atmosphere. Okay, it's equal to 1 atmosphere. All right. So let's now go back to this question. The question we have here: What do we do first? From Avogadro's law, remember Avogadro's law states that equal volume of all gases at the same temperature and pressure contains what? Similar mole. Okay, contains similar number of what? Mole. So from Avogadro's law, we get V1, which is volume 1 over number of molecule 1, okay, equal to V2 over N2. This one is the what? The Avogadro's law. This is the expression, okay, where V is equal to N. Remember, I told you that equal volume of all gases at the same temperature and pressure contains similar what? Similar N, okay, contains similar what? N, which is it contains similar molecules, okay. So N is molecules. N is equal to molecules. Okay, so this one is the Avogadro's law. Let's now use it to solve. First of all, let's identify what they gave us here. They gave us V. Which one is it? V1. This one is V1, the first volume, 20 centimeter cube. V1 equal to 20 centimeter cube or cubic centimeter. They give us V2. Yes, see V2 here. V2 equal to 30 cubic centimeter. They give us N1. They give us number of molecule 1. Yes, contains 8.0 times 10 raised to the power 23 molecules. That's N1 is equal to 8.0 times 10 raised to the power 23 molecules. Okay. All right. So N2. Now that N2 we define. Okay. Now that N2 we define. All right. Calculate the number of molecules in. So N2 equal to question mark. So how do we solve? Very easy and simple. All right. Let's solve straight to the point. No time to waste. Apply this formula. Substitute. You get your answer. Substitute, you apply your small basic mathematics, you get your answer. So when we substitute into this formula, V1 over N1 equal to V2 over N2. Okay, so we are now going to have what is V1? 20 over what is N1? N1 is this 8.0 times 10 raised to the power 23. 8.0 times 10 raised to the power 23. I always advise that all these things, when you carry all these things, if they don't reach 2, they don't give you reach 2, just convert this thing back to decimal. Convert this thing back to decimal. Make use and solve easily. Okay, so that may not cause you confusion. But if you are a good mathematician, you know how to use it like that. Use it like that. Equal to what is V2? V2 is 30 over what is N2? N2 now what we define. What do you do when you have letter one side as denominator or numerator? You have numbers the other side. You cross multiply. Very easy. So when you cross multiply, this will times this one. Very easy. So you are now going to be left with what? 20 times N2 is equal to what? This one. 8.0 times 10 raised to the power 23 times 30. So what are we going to do? We are going to use this one, 8 times 30, then we leave this our raising power. 8 times 30, it will give us 240, that's what calculator says, times 10 raised to the power what? 23. Okay, then here, we are now going to have what? 20 N2. What do? We divide both sides by the coefficient of N2. Okay, 20 N2 over 20 N2. 20 N2 cancel 20 N2. 20 into 240 will give us what? We bring our N2 down, equal to, when this divided by this, will give us it will give us 12, okay, times 12 times 10 raised to power what we have here, 10 raised to power 23, okay. So if you look at the answer, this one is the answer, but if you look at the options, what we have in the option is 1.2 times 10 raised to power 24. So we are going to convert this to match what we have in the option. So if we put points here now, we are going to give this 1 to this what? 23, all right. If it was 0 point something, okay, and we had to put points, we are going to minus from the raising power. But since it's 1 point something, we are going to add to the raising power. So we are now going to have N2 is equal to 1.2 times 10 raised to the power 24. Among the options, pick the correct option and drop it in the comment section.